Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hariz bin Ishak. So this is my research title. The research title from my study is relationship between social anxiety disorder and physical activity participation among middle-aged women. So this is the background of my study. So social anxiety disorder can be defined as characterized by a severe and enduring anxiety of social situations where emotions of embarrassment or humiliation could arise. Which means when someone have embarrassment or humiliation in a social situation, they have the potential to have this social anxiety disorder. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, 7.1% of adults in United States have the social anxiety disorder at some point in their life, and SAD also is commonly popular among women compared to men, and it has been developed in their childhood or in adolescence. SAD also associated with a number of negative outcomes, including decrease in quality of life, increase in risk of depressions, and other mental health disorders. And this a very big issue because, as we can see, SAD will have a negative impact regarding to our mental health, quality of life, and depression. According to the US Department of Health and Human Services, physical activity can be defined as any bodily movement produced by the contraction of skeletal muscle that increases energy expenditure above a basal level. And for the physical activity participation, it can be defined as the exercise, which is a planned physical activity that done with the intention of improving one or more aspect of health. For example, when people want to play football, they want to improve their health and also they want to increase their muscle endurance. So that is can be considered as the physical activity participations. And for the LTPA stands for leisure time physical activity. It can be defined as the physical activities that performed by a person that are not required as essential activities of daily living and are performed at the discretion of the person, which means that the person want to involve in any physical activity or in their leisure time, doing activities like running, sweeping the house, and we can see the definition is performed by a person that not require essential activities of daily living and performed at the discretion of the person, which means that the person want to willingly doing the activity. And now we are at the physical activity participation and social anxiety disorder. So, according to the Kastel-Rotenberg and Farmer in 2007, individuals that have been diagnosed with SAD tend to have a lower level of physical activity participation, which means that the person who have the social anxiety disorder less involved or lack involvement in the physical activity. And from the second point by Huang in 2018, he found that middle-aged women with social anxiety disorder also have the significant lower level of physical activity participation compared to those without the disorder. And for the third point, by Raza in 2019, middle-aged women with social anxiety disorder who participate in 12-week exercise program had a significant improvement in their symptom of social anxiety disorder and overall quality of life. So from the third point, we can see that this physical activity have the impact toward the person who have been diagnosed by the social anxiety disorder. And now we are at the statement of problem. So the first point is prospective cohort studies have shown that sedentary lifestyle, or in other words, which mean that inactive lifestyle and a decline in physical activity are linked to the emergence of the number of mental health for the anxiety, which mean that when person doesn't involve in active lifestyle, they have the potential to involve with the mental health issue such as anxiety. And for the second point, according to the ADECA, in 2012, the study showed that a person who have the social anxiety disorder will struggle in the social interaction, and also the SAD will impact every aspect of daily life, such as relationship, employment, and also academic pursuit. And according to the Asia in 2017, the study showed that women are more prone to affected by social anxiety disorder with a present and more severe clinical form of the condition, which means that women have more tendency or potential than men to involve in the social anxiety disorder, and it will have a long effect in the future. Alright, now we are at the research objective and research questions. So, the first research objective is we want to identify the perception on social anxiety among middle-aged women. We want to see the perception of the target population about the social anxiety. And for the second objective, we want to identify the physical activity participation level among middle-aged women. We also want to see middle-aged women or our target populations about the physical activity participation level. And for the last research objective, we want to identify the relationship between social anxiety disorder and physical activity participation level. For the third objective, we want to see if there is any relationship between social anxiety disorder and physical activity participation level among the target population, which is middle-aged women. And for the research questions, the first one is what is the perception on social anxiety among middle-aged women. The second one is what is the level of physical activity participation among middle-aged women. And the last one is what is the relationship between physical activity participation level and social anxiety disorder. The hypothesis for this study is there is significant relationship between social anxiety disorder and physical activity participation level among middle-aged women. Now, we are the significance of the study. So, the first one is about the public. As we know that social anxiety disorder is a common mental health because it will affect millions of people, and we want the public to know about the impact of the social anxiety toward themselves, and also we want to promote the physical activity because physical activity have been shown to have the numerous benefits for reducing mental health, including the social anxiety. And then for the academicians, it will help the researcher, the teachers, and also the lecturers to find more information using this study in same related areas to find the alternative treatment to motivate all the social anxiety patient to put the physical activity into their treatment plan. And for the government, it also have the significant study because the government will use this study as information to help all the social anxiety disorder patients to create a exercise program for them, because it shows that the physical activity have the benefits and also the impact toward the social anxiety and also improving the mood. For the literature review, according to the National Institute of Mental Health in 2017, there are 3 traits of social anxiety, which are excessive fear in social or performance situation, self-consciousness in social situation, and struggle with social interaction. So for the first point, they have been divided by 2, which are the physical symptom and emotional symptom. For physical symptom, people with SAD will feel sweating, shaking, or blushing, and for emotional symptom, they will feel nervous, self-doubt toward themselves. Individuals with social anxiety disorder may feel as thought they are constantly being judged by others and may have heightened awareness of their own behavior and appearance. This self-consciousness can lead to negative thoughts and also belief about oneself, such as feeling inferior or inadequate. For the third point, they may have difficulty initiating and maintaining conversations and may avoid the social gatherings or activities. They also have difficulty in forming and maintaining relationship due to the fear of rejection or negative evaluation by the others. Next is about physical activity participation among middle-aged women. For the first point is social support. A woman who have supportive spouse or friends and family are more likely to engage in regular physical activity according to the case 2003. For the cultural and societal norms, some cultures place a greater emphasis on the importance of physical activity and may have more opportunities for women to be active. And there are also more rigid gender roles and expectations where women may face barriers to physical activity such as limited access to facilities or lack of time due to the household and caregiving responsibility. For the third point, personal beliefs and attitudes, a woman who view physical activity as enjoyable and rewarding are more likely to be active or participate in physical activity, and vice versa. For the social economic status, women with lower socio-economic status may face barriers such as lack of access to facilities or financial constraints that make it difficult to participate in the physical activity. And last one is age. As people age, their bodies become more or less able to tolerate in certain types of physical activity, and also they are more prone to the injury, according to the National Institute on Aging 2020. So this is the conceptual framework. So the IV is the social anxiety disorder. They have the self-consciousness and self-awareness, fear of negative evaluation, and also avoidance of social situation. And for the DV is the physical activity participation level. The level they have three. The first one is light, moderate, and also the vigorous. For the methodology, we will go through one by one. The first one is research design, sampling, instrumentation, data collection procedure, and also the data analysis. Alright, for the first one is about the research design. So the research design for this study is non-experimental, quantitative, and correlation research design. Why correlation? Because we want to identify between two variables. The first one is the social anxiety disorder and also the physical activity participation level. So these two variables, we will use the correlation research design. For the sampling, the target population is middle-aged women in Taman Muhibah, and also for the sampling technique, we will use convenient sampling techniques. And sample size is according to the G-Power software that will be used to analyze the objective of the study. The study indicate that total of 92 sample size is suitable for the correlation research design. So this is the sample size according to the G-Power, as you can see. Alright, right now I will explain about the instrumentation. So, the instrumentation is divided by three sections. Section A, B, and C. And the questionnaire used would be adopted and adapted from two established questionnaires, which are the Physical Activity and Sport Anxiety Scale and International Physical Activity Questionnaire. The instrumentation will be self-administered questionnaire, and also it will translate by bilingual, Malay and English. So for instrumentation, there is section A, B, and C. As you can see, the first one is demographic profile. It is more about the self-developed by myself and also supervised from my supervisor. It will ask about the age, race, work, and marital status. For section B, we will use this study will use physical activity and sport anxiety scale. This physical activity and sport anxiety scale will direct more to the describe how a person might feel of think while participating in athletic activities. And for section C, we will use International Physical Activity Questionnaire or IPAC. There are 7 items. The questionnaire are intended to provide standard tools that may be used to acquire globally comparable data on physical activity for health. So for this questionnaire, it will more to the physical and health related. So the next one is about the data collection procedure. As you can see, from the after approval, ask permission to the research from the supervisor FSR, briefing to the sample about the study and the questionnaire, distribute the questionnaire to the sample via Google Form, and also the data will be collected through the Google Form. So this is the data analysis. As you can see, to identify the perception on social anxiety among middle-aged women, we will use descriptive statistics which means we will see the median, standard deviation, and also the rank. To identify the physical activity participation level among middle-aged women, also we will use the descriptive statistic. Also same like the first one, we want to see the standard deviation, the mean, and also the rank. And the last objective is to identify the relationship between social anxiety disorder and physical activity participation level among the middle-aged women. But for this analysis, we will use Pearson correlation because we want to see the relationship between two variables. And the last one is reference. So these are my reference. So that's all from me. Thank you.